Bulletproof and fatty coffee has become a staple in the biohacking world, so much so that people are downing multiple tablespoons of butter and coconut oil every morning with their coffee. But is this practice even safe? Let's dive in. I have been a fan of the biohacking movement since I found out about it early in college. And one thing that seems to be key to their ethos is drinking some type of bulletproof or fatty coffee. Now, generally, this comes in the form of adding either some type of grass-fed butter or heavy whipping cream or MCT oils. Sometimes it's coconut oil or coconut milk, but either way, you're adding some type of fat into your coffee, and this is thought to stimulate ketosis and turn you into some type of quote-unquote fat-burning machine. But this isn't exactly how this works. Now, when you are adding some type of fat to your coffee, it can be very effective. I myself have done this at different points in my life, like when I was in PA school and I was studying a ridiculous amount. I had a very, very small amount of time. I would actually add some type of fat to my coffee in the morning, and this gave me a sustained energy so that I could continue to do my studies, continue to do my work without having to actually sit down and eat breakfast. So it can be a very effective means, but unfortunately, when many things, just like this one, when they become popular, things seem to become overinflated, and you start to get all of these crazy ideas. There are people out there that are saying things like, when you add calories in like this, it actually doesn't matter, and it's some type of negative net calorie because you're going to be burning the fat off in some way. And then there's other people that say, we need to be in ketosis all the time, and that carbs are really the enemy, and that the only reason that people get fat is because of insulin. And I hear you, I understand this, because before I went through my master's program, I believed all of these same things. You get on these websites and you can find very quote-unquote reputable people that are saying all kinds of things like this. And if you listen to enough of them, then you start to believe these ideas, believe these things that, calories don't matter, believe things that, you can become in ketosis, that insulin is the main driver of obesity, all of these different things. But, this really just is not the case. When you really find the actual true reputable sources and you find the studies and where all of the things are controlled for, you start to understand that these calories do matter and that it works in a different way than what many of these people are explaining. So let's look at a couple of different examples. Now, say we have a person, this guy, and let's call him Tom, and Tom is looking to lose some weight, and he recently found out about the whole biohacking movement, and he's really interested in trying out this bulletproof coffee or this fatty coffee. And so normally, Tom is eating in the morning for breakfast. Normally he's eating an English muffin, and this has some type of ham and cheese on it, which sounds pretty good. This is about 250 calories. And then he also generally is drinking, a glass of orange juice, and that's about 100 calories. So generally his breakfast is going to be getting somewhere around 350 calories. And this is generally what he's eating. And it's not that he is gaining weight, it's just that he's not losing weight, and he wants to lose weight faster. So what he does is, he found out about this biohacking movement, and so he wants to try this fatty coffee out for himself. So what he does is he adds about 1.5 tablespoons of this grass-fed butter, which people can get everywhere now. It's really delicious. And you can add it to your coffee, and that's going to add it to about 150 total calories. So if all other things remain the same and he actually swaps out, so he stops eating the English muffin, he stops eating the orange juice, and he adds in the coffee and butter, that's what he eats in the morning, and he doesn't eat anything else until lunch, and his lunch and dinner remain the same, that means that he is going to be taking in about 150 less calories each morning. And so if that was enough to get him into a negative caloric balance, if that 150 calories was what was maintaining him, now he has a slight caloric deficit, he is going to lose weight over time. He's going to have enough energy so that his brain can continue to function, he can continue to go to work, but he is going to be cutting out some calories, which can be a very effective way to lose weight. So it's not that the fatty coffee is some type of magic, it's just that it can allow you to feel satiated enough so that you can decrease your total calorie intake throughout the day. And another thing that I really want to point out is that it only works if your total daily calories actually decrease because of this. So if he added the coffee and butter on top of the English muffin and the orange juice, well, now he just added 150 calories. So that's not going to help him lose weight. Or say, for instance, that he adds in the coffee and butter, and then he also is reading that, say, nuts like cashews and almonds are good for you. And so he decides to have a cup of almonds with his lunch that he was normally eating. So now that added in more calories. So he's not going to lose weight in that way. The only way that this actually is going to work is if you can do a substitution, and you are going to substitute the fatty coffee that you are drinking, you are going to be substituting that with something that has a higher total calorie intake, and that's something that you are eating regularly. Now, I do want to point out that when you start adding in large amounts of fat into your diet, it's really important that you are having your blood lipids checked. Cardiovascular disease is a major problem, and some people react very poorly to adding in this Bulletproof like coffee and going ketogenic, or even some people are going carnivore now. That some, people, not everyone is going to react favorably to that. So it's really important that if you are going to start down this pathway, you want to try out ketosis, you want to try these things out, you really should get a comprehensive blood panel where you are looking at your blood lipids, because some people are going to react very poorly to this, and it can send your triglycerides ridiculously high. Some people can get up in the 700s, 1000s, and that is a very, very dangerous range, regardless of what you hear about cholesterol being good and bad. Some people react very poorly to this, and it becomes very, very high, and it is a very dangerous thing. So you really do want to get your blood levels checked, and this is something I do when I work with people. I get a very detailed cardiometabolic analysis where we are going to be looking at your blood lipids in extreme detail and seeing how the diet that you are currently eating, how that is affecting you. And then you can start to see how these different interventions affect you personally, because what works for one person is not necessarily going to work for the other people. Some people can tolerate having some butter in their coffee. When I was doing it, I had my own blood lipids checked, and they were fantastic. At one point, my HDL was 99 and my LDL was 33. So, it can become, my LDL was 50 and my triglycerides were 33. So some people do react very favorably, and then some people, like I said, it sends their triglycerides and they'll be 700-800, and that's obviously putting them at an extreme increased risk for some type of cardio event, heart attacks, things like that. So it's really important, if you are going to be trying these things out, make sure that you're getting yourself checked out. So I hope that this has been helpful. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure that you are subscribing, make sure that you're following, because I'm going to continue to put out more of this awesome content for you guys. So again, this is Floyd Meyer reminding you to live better so that you can do more.